Okay. And you're live.
I always forget my volume. Hello, everybody. HJR Insights Terror Show Energetic Forecast for February 2026 premiere. I'm Katie Oshiwanita with Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Foundation series and be your host, and Lewis Oxley will be your co-host.
Hello, everyone.
As we, we'll talk about what we're going to do. So I'm so okay.
Navigate in the world of tarot.
Yeah. And Lewis is saying hello to everybody as well. And so far, it looks like the two that have joined is you and I.
So, perfect.
Anyway. Happy days.
Happy days.
All right. We'll go ahead and get started, and people will just catch up when they come in. So, the purpose and meaning behind HJR Insights. We will examine the reality we as humanity have been creating. What are the current narratives being played out? What is the history and mechanics being used? What do we want to keep and what do we want to change? How can we support what we want to keep, and how can we effectively shift what we do not want to keep into a win-win for everyone? Oh, and also there is a PDF for today's show in the description box below. And awesome. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. Yes. Let's see. All right. Hello. Lewis, when you see the comments, yep. When you see the comments, can you put your cursor over the comment?
Yeah.
Does it show hide or give anything on it when you put your cursor over it?
No, unfortunately, You'd have to.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay.
Let's see.
All right, the tools we will be using. So both tarot and astrology are technologies we created to look at the universe with clarity, an intricate part of which we are to navigate our way through it. We will be using these tools from a Quilanta perspective with our guardian clan family. Tarot is a tool that and again, love to have questions, comments, as we go along, especially when we go to read the cards. Definitely looking forward to people's input. I'm by no means perfect myself. I'm still learning. We're all creating, when we get together in a group, we're creating a shield, right? A connection. And so when I go, well, anyway, I'll talk more about that, but we're all working together. So tarot is a tool that humanity has been using for probably thousands of years in various forms. I mean, I would even put runes under tarot, the mechanics behind tarot, not actually the cards per se, but how they're used. The Anunnaki Thoth, who had been trusted, this is what I had when I had back in the day. It's been a while. I don't know if I could find the document that I found, but I remember finding that, we know that according to Voyagers, that Thoth, who was entrusted speaker of the Emerald Covenant thousands of years ago, he had betrayed the Emerald Covenant, stealing what's called the Signet Shield 11, to which became the emerald tablets. I have heard that within the emerald tablets, you can find basically the basics of the major arcana were first developed. And then over thousands or hundreds and thousands of years, they became more of what they are today. Okay. But this information is ours. This is not the group like Toth and those kind of guys. They can't create anything organic on their own merit. They have to take somebody else's and change it. Okay. The astrology tool is part of our original technology as well. It is a science based on current stellar alignments. These alignments were altered millions of years ago, meaning astrology does have distortions because of this. But it also means we have those distortions in our templates. We are in the process right now of creating a new light body universal reality. To which I've been noticing when I follow certain people that I like that do astrology are talking about this. They don't know what they're looking at per se, right? But they're seeing in the stars things changing. Okay. They're a good reflection, a good tool to navigate where we are right now. And what I wanted to look at with at least with the monthly sessions, at least to start out with, that'll probably change as we get to know each other and I build my confidence and you build your confidence with me. We can probably branch out to more complex topics. But I just wanted to start out looking at the energy forecast in terms of we as a shield, as a group of us that'll line up together, how are we doing as a community lining up to what's called the crystal spiral of creation versus what we have as humanity in this time matrix, been living a Fibonacci spiral of what I call second creation finite mechanics. It is a mechanics. It is real. It's not organic, but it's real. And you can look under your microscope and you will see the Fibonacci spiral structure. Does it make it organic? Okay. So we want to literally shift ourselves out, and we are right now, as part of creating that new light body structure, is to shift out of the old Fibonacci tube torus death spiral and back into the crystal spiral, which is our organic, and we do have access to it. And looking, did we lose our Jennifer? I hope not. As we're looking at, as people have been following the Chelonic science, my introduction to Chelonic science, talking about the cathartic structure, the energy lines and energy centers, and how the node points the tip in different places, and how these cathartic grids align together and align. Energy runs in spirals, so you've got these cathartic grids interconnected with each other. So the energy lines, energy centers connect. We talk about the Azure point, the monad, all of that interfaces into this technology, all the way back to the core of source itself, Aya, down all the way to everything that makes up what makes up an atom. Okay, down to a little grain of sand. I mean, all of it runs this cathartic grid structure. And you can see from the diagram of the crystal spiral how there's these spiraling cathartic grids that spiral out. Now it's showing obviously a two-dimensional form of it, but it would not be two-dimensional in the real world, right? And you'll see how it spirals out, and there's these points, node points, that each cathartic grid interfaces with this spiral into the big spiral, which represents going back into the core or out of the core. Actually, you would say going all the way out to the light body structure. The center of it would be the eternal core Aya, and it spirals out to where we're at. Okay. You look on the other one, and they put the two spirals together in this diagram, and they start at the same point, starting to spiral out, except that the death spiral, Fibonacci spiral, isn't attached to the energy lines and energy centers of the organic light body or eternal spirit body of creation. It's its own harnessed technology that has to vampire and eat other life forms around it to sustain. And it literally at the axis 7 splits off and pulls us back in to the system rather than going out back into the core. Back. So that's why you have the tube torus structure with it. The tube torus, if you notice, pulls the energy back in, right?
Yeah.
Back into this pillar, into the center of the planet, and back, and it cycles back in and back in. It's completely shut off from everything else around it. That's not healthy. That's why things die. So, like I say, we're in the middle of getting ourselves back on the crystal spiral of creation. There's a mechanics to do that. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment is an option. Helonic Science by Lithiacia or Ashiana Dean. Arias Productions is, it's another way, or both of them. You can do both, whichever works best for you. So that's what I wanted to bring that up. And I'm thinking, and then when I was looking this over, this is the zodiac. So we're combining tarot and astrology together. So this is the zodiac spread. So each card around the circle will represent these different areas, and each of them are what we call the houses, right? And I was kind of noticing as I was kind of going through this and putting it together, I'm like, the more I think about it, Aries, well, actually, we'll just go through these, and then I'll go with kind of what I was kind of realizing with it, is we start out with the self. Aries represents the self, the fire. How we, in our root chakra, ego, sees ourselves. How we develop our identity. How we build up who we are, the self. Taurus is how we, from a personal perspective, what are the resources around us? What are the minerals, plants, animals? Just what do we have available around us to live with, to sustain? And again, it's earth sign, very grounded and stable. Gemini, our near environment, we start to expand out a little bit more. What is the actual, not just the resources, not just the minerals and the plants, what's the environment? Am I living in the woods? Am I living where there's a bunch of houses? Am I living where there's restaurants? What is around my near environment? And obviously, be a lot of different things, we know. Then we come to Cancer. So that goes back. So we start out with our identity. We kind of expand out to what's around it. Then we kind of come back into our core a little bit again of our roots. But this is now more of an expanded version because we've still taken in all of what we just took in with the first three. Now we're looking at our family, our home, our mother relationships, children relationships. We're kind of expanding what our identity means more to us. Then when we get a better understanding of that, then we look at more of Leo, the sun, our self-expression, how we then, with all of what we've gained through the first four, how we can be more self-expressed, how we can have a little bit of a stronger ego. Leos tend to be known for their ego. Their ego's getting a little bit stronger. We're connected to the sun. We're connected to the spirit. Then we come to Virgo, health and services. So we're back into what is about our world around us a little bit more. Virgos get into health and wellness, being of service, and they're very grounded and stable. So bringing it back into the earth again. Then we blossom into Libra, which we're now looking at more one-on-one relationships. So we're more than just I, we're two eyes together, and how those two eyes work together. How we are get inheritance. I think inheritances is another one. Through our relationships, what resources, what relationships can we evolve and develop with. And from that, we then have Scorpio of transformation, birth and death. So now that we've have more relationship, we're not just this little root chakra ego. We are more than just our home and family. We now are able to create our own family, and then we can transform into something new from that new evolution. Sagittarius, now we're becoming more knowledgeable, developed, and able to explore even more and develop more expansion of who we are. From that, we get grounded back into the earth with our Cappies, our Capricorn, into life tasks that expound on the community, who we are, what we've evolved into. Aquarius, friendships, social media, communities, visionary, being able to see farther into the future, being able to look no longer just caught up, no longer bound just by the earth, but Aquarians are now able to see beyond the earth and go to the next levels of evolution, of development of spirit. Pisces is the hidden realm of I'm looking ahead, I'm feeling into what is out there that what we call apartheid receivers have not seen yet, but we know is out there, and we feel through our new senses how to interpret these new realities. Then in the center, some people will put a card in the center that kind of summarizes the deck or summarize the layout, the layout. And I felt of it as being like the 13th pillar, because everything starts from Aya, from our eternal core. Comes then do the Kristalla of our monad, and then flashes out the Christos, which is the whole layout around us of the life body structure. And then I kind of looked at how these different cycles and could kind of feel like how harmonic universe 1, more of the root Aries, Cancer, more HU2, water, which actually kind of correlates to ancient moon if you get into esoteric or Christianity, Leo, the sun evolution, Virgo back into the Earth's evolution, and then HU3, Archangel connection, a little bit more highly evolved, but still part of this realm. And then when you get to HU4, you're exploring way out, way out there. Lewis, do you have any questions for me?
So with the zodiac, for example, say if I'm a Capricorn, which is number 10, which is the life task, is that going to be more associated or more advice for me? Or is that going to just be kind of very general?
I would say you're probably a bit of an old soul.
Yeah.
You've cycled through quite a bit. But what's happened with us is, well, two things is what I kind of feel like, but I'm not sure. The distortions, to me, there's two seeable distortions in the zodiac.
Yep.
One is it just keeps spiraling. I'm not spiraling, it just keeps going around and around. We go. So
Yep.
going back through all these cycles, these houses. And two is, I'm not sure if I'm answering the question, but two is it runs counterclockwise.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's really supposed to be more clockwise, but I'm not sure on that. Maybe counterclockwise would be correct, because we're now at the time we're supposed to be going back up the spiral.
Yep.
But originally we went the other way to come back into the cycle. So
Okay.
did I answer your question? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Lewis. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, so what I want, how are we doing timing wise?
We're only 20 minutes in, so we've still got 40 minutes.
All right. What I wanted to do, just to set the tone, is redo the Crystal River Prayer. And for everybody, whether they're tuning, obviously it looks like, did you take yourself off YouTube? It's only showing one person now.
Yeah, I'm off YouTube.
Okay. I'm still on YouTube, so it's showing me. So
Okay,
we lost Jennifer. Bummer doodles. Okay. So whoever's going to be tuning in the future, because I'm also, when I do this layout, I'm looking at who's here now as well as who will be tuning in the future of this shield. All right. So Crystal River Prayer and invocation of the Alasa Silver Sea Councils and NYYAC, TAEFW, GAETYC, EAC, AMCC, MCO for Silver Sea Crystal River Plasma Host Activation and Amplification. Er Shadu Elesa Alhambra dan Etale Sun Dad Dradu. Ista Inta O Derujamina, Ea La Sasun Pita Elave, Los Tila Ilaho, Komana and Lita Jadu. Elesa Sunta E Amita Juntu. Elesa Sunta E Amita Juntu. Elesa Sunta E Amita Juntu. In the Christic name and action of God Source First Eternal, the Eternal Christ, Nomia Yusafre Urea Alhambra, Aria, Nomia Urea Alhambra, First Absolute Bright Flower Founders, Alania Topelia Urea, Christa Ariania Reyes Cosminias Alhambras, the Alasa Silver Sea Councils and the Alhambra Magistracy Councils of Cosminias, Ota Ete Irashra du Unale Ita Jet Alhambra, 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 Alhambra. Everybody inhale, hold. Feeling into the tip of their sternum that also connects into the heart area. At the tip of the sternum will be a rainbow crystal. Feeling yourself within the rainbow crystal, hold. And again, anything I do, you only do if you're comfortable doing. Hold. Those of you that are joining in that do the work, you know what to do. Hold. And out loud, Alhambra. Urinde Sahara y la tre himus en aurora de la hos indinabe, kumza eho der etita jet Alhambra, kumza adilar en tour e la vie, casminajas Alhambras du schwa a vie, te Asia intidore, te Asia intidore, te Asia intidore. Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Abriadan, Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Abriadan, Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Abriadan. Uma etre ina e, uma etre ina e, uma etre ina e, ekasha. Ashea Nira Ochasa, Ashea Nira Ochasa, Ashea Nero Oshiso. And welcome, Jennifer Milford. I mean, not. We already have Jennifer Miller. Indigo Wizard. Indigo Wizard.
Oh, welcome. He's one of my friends. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Very much welcome. Okay. All right. And what I'm going to do is, since I don't have the capability of hooking up my camera to the or phone to the setup to the computer like this, I'm going to do the layout, take a picture of it, and then will come out of my mouth. Take a picture of it, and then I will load it up onto the computer and onto this software, and so that you guys can have the image of it, because there's too many cards to try to just go through them. And we may play around going back and forth. Just making sure they're all okay. Right direction.
There we go.
And we'll go back and forth between this particular one and kind of feel our way through this spread. And if we have time, we can kind of look at other things. And we're looking at the energy forecast for the month of February for all of us on the shield, how we're doing in regards to connecting into our organic crystal spiral of life that we are an eternal, indelible expression of. And each house will give us little messages on how we can align better, what we can do. So yes, everybody tuning in, feeling into the cards together. And everybody brings their own personal plan as well of their eternal multidimensional anatomy. So everybody's coming into bear on these cards. Oh, ooh, yeah, everybody, wow. Okay. Oh,
Okay, so something that I've been really kind of called to talk about recently is, especially now that we're on the topic of the crystal spiral and the Metatronic spiral, as we kind of saw on the last couple of pages backwards. Really, what I wanted to emphasize is, so the Metatronic spiral, how it's really powered is it's powered by something called the sextant clock. And the sextant clock, you can kind of think of it as a time-pointed clock, which means that it has 10 different programs. And these programs, how we kind of really interface into them is by one of us being the victimizer and one of us being the victim. So, and it's kind of like you become the victim and the victimizer, you play that role, or you play both of the roles, and you move on to the next level, and the next level, and the next level, until you go all around the Metatronic spiral. And kind of how it works is when we either participate within this program, whether we are the victim or the victimizer, when we play directly into that program, we create something called keys. So if you are on, I don't know, level 5 of the sextant clock, and you're playing the level 5 program with the victim-victimizer game, or that scenario, when you go through the program, you'll be creating these little keys. And these keys will be directly plugged into the 5th part of the Metatronic spiral, and they keep going up and up. What I really wanted to emphasize is that throughout the freedom teachings and even into the KDDLs and the Tantriara of Host Masters, what Yesha really emphasizes is she really emphasizes the virtues and the responsibilities of mastery. And we've really been talking about a lot of this with the Gridkeepers membership thing, so I'm going to kind of keep it a little bit brief. Obviously, we've all got these different distortions. We have to live in this matrix, and we all have to to some extent really connecting to the sextant clock, but by really connecting in with the virtues, really trusting the virtues, trying to live the virtues, it gives you a level of immunity. Because the beautiful things about these virtues is it gives you an immunity to actually step away from the sextant clock. So while we're thinking the sextant clock is a part of the net itself, we might be very vulnerable to it. If we just really trust into the virtues, really read them, really become them, work with the virtue codes, and really turn on the apipaicebas of these codes, and the more that we embody it, the more that we can just kind of step back from the sextant proc program and the victim victimizer program, and we can really start to realign ourselves back onto the crystal spiral. So, yeah.
I'm almost there, Liz.
Perfect. So even if you find it really hard going through the work, really trying to integrate all the work, the truest, most authentic thing that you can really do is just to understand and really live the virtues. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do techniques. You don't need to do any of this kind of stuff, because all the newer work, particularly with the plasmas and things, they're all linked into the attitudes of mastery, responsibilities, and the bars. So just by being a good, virtuous person, you'll be becoming a part of the hush, be picking up the plasmas, and you'll be directly aligning yourself onto this new beautiful earth that we're all creating on the crystal spiral. And I really hope that I really hope that kind of helps people out. Obviously, if you do want to learn more about this, we do a lot of this in the book club that we've been doing with Katie's book. There we go.
Okay, it's not perfect, but it'll do in a pinch, which we're in.
Okay.
Because I love you guys, and I really want to share this, and I think this is fun. Okay. All right. So this is kind of an interesting, intense sprint here. So we're looking at the first card, Aries, the Self. And let's see. The Tower card. Now, this is an interesting card. A very interesting card. This is a card that says whatever your foundation was built on wasn't solid. It needs to come down. It needs to come down, and it's going to come down, and no matter how much you wanted to keep it the way it was, major arcana say you're going to have to suck it up. It's coming down. That's a good thing for us, because that's what we're wanting to do. We're wanting to get off the old spiral onto the new, but to get onto the new, you have to get off this old spiral. We are right in the middle. So many of us have been having all kinds of symptoms of physical pain, emotional chaos, all kinds of crazy stuff going on right now. Yep, because it's happening. We're right in the middle of it happening. Now we're looking at the next card, Taurus, our resources. The Seven of Wands. This is a beautiful card, actually. Although it is a little bit questionable with it being next to that tower, but we're looking at the tower in a very positive way. So our resources to bear, we have a lot of resources at hand, because each of those wands is a resource, and they're moving at full force. Very powerful, very intense coming into February. And if we got time, when we talk more about kind of what we're getting in regards to February. A pretty intense month. Actually, this whole year is going to be pretty intense. Now we are looking at Gemini. No, yeah, Gemini. Our near surroundings, right? So this is a card, the Two of Swords is holding off. It's kind of saying, I need to slow down and not really look around. And I just need to be a little bit more self-contained. So it's kind of saying, for our near surroundings, we don't really want to be too explorative of what's going on around us. Because energetically, with the Tower, we're going to be hit kind of hard energetically. Lots of energy. Cancer, right? I think we're in Cancer. So Cancer, we have as the Devil card. Another very intense card. We will probably, many of us will be dealing with a lot of our anxieties, our fears, our confusions, our dysfunctions around our home, our mother, our children relationships, mother relationships, foundational relationships. We're going to be probably looking at them in different ways as we really go. The structure of our reality is going to be of how we thought the world was supposed to be. Those of us on this shield have already been doing this, but we're going to be doing it at a deeper level, because as much as we think that we've figured things out, we really haven't. There's so much more to the program, to the time matrix, that we have any idea of, and particularly in regards to how we create the reality around us. And we will start more and more seeing how that's panning out. Okay. This is interesting because we're in Leo, okay? So Leo tends to like to be fun, joy, expressing oneself, feeling really good, being the sun and shining. Well, Five of Pentacles is saying, you know what? Again, we may not want to be too boisterous right now. We may not be feeling too boisterous right now, because as we're in February, we're probably going to be looking more at the physical world around us and its structures. And we'll be saying, you know what? I'm going to walk away a little bit. Because if you notice with the Five of Pentacles, they're walking away. They're even walking away from the religious institution that they were part of. We're probably going to be looking more and more at the different religions and going, okay, what's the good in them? What's the bad? And walking away from what we don't agree with. And going deeper within our own eternal core and finding our own connection with who we are as Aya, God Source First Eternal. You, me, we, us, they, it. Capital I, capital T. But also keep in mind with this card is fives are minor setbacks. So it's not going to be big, you can't bear it stuff. It's just going to be part of your exploration and your awakening. Or I should say our awakening. Because we're all affected by this. Doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be affected. Virgo. Okay. So this is interesting. The Queen of Cups, which truthfully, Virgo would appreciate the Queen of Pentacles. She would really like that. Or, that energy is really nice for the Virgo. This can be a little heavy for her, for that house. because Queen of Cups, while she's hugely intuitive, which we can look at it from the point of, as we go through the months, through these different parts of the month, because we're kind of cycling through the whole month with these cards, kind of where it starts out in the beginning, and as we move through the month, we'll be moving through these different houses, basically. As we see more, as we don't be as expressive around us, as we go more internal, as we're feeling the changes emotionally, mentally, we'll also be bringing out our intuition, our intuitive guidance system. But we will also feel a little depressed because we'll feel kind of disappointed in that, again, things that we thought were truths, were, realities, are not. I probably need to look at the feed again. That we thought was, reality is not. So we're going to have some of that. But then also, as we're going more into our intuition, we'll also be discovering more of good things that we didn't know about. And that will take us into Libra, which is interesting. The King of Swords, do we have any new messages, new posts, Louis?
Not currently, no.
Okay. All right. So now, one thing is good. This is an air sign, and Libra is an air sign. So the mind. He is very emotional. He's the master of intellect. He's an academic. He's a master of his topic that he's working on. He's a really good manager. He also is good with managing law and making things right. So we will be looking at our relationships more from that perspective, which I think is kind of healthy, and that we will be seeing more of, is this a healthy relationship? How is it work, beneficial, not beneficial? What's it creating, not creating, a wide range of different things. We'll be kind of be more mature in our relationships, which I think is really huge, is really big. And you may find, as you're assessing your relationship, if it's a long-term relationship, you may find that it's even better than what you thought it was. Or you might find, maybe not, right? And you'll feel more mature and strong in yourself as you evolve through the month, that you can make the choices you need to make and stand in them, whatever that relationship may be. Personal, business, friendships, all kinds of relationships, right? Personal one-on-one relationships. Okay. Scorpio, right? This is interesting. The Ace of Wands for Scorpio, birth and death, or death and birth, however you want to look at it. Regeneration, ending of old to begin new. Our Tower card in the beginning was saying our old way of being is in the process of literally coming down. Midway through the month, we will be finding the beginnings of something's birthing, igniting, coming alive within ourselves, within our light body structure, because this is fire, creation, spirit, maybe even new ideas. Okay. new business endeavors. Trying to think what else. Something new is definitely within the month or moving forward. We'll be developing. Could even be our light body structures coming online a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, this one next is our Cappy, Capricorn. Life, no, what was that?
It would be not Capricorn, that's the next one. It would be Sagittarius.
No, this, oh, okay, this is, okay, yeah, you're right. Saggy. All right. Knowledge. What appropriate card for this. Because this is another, I mean, we've got a pretty good number of major arcanas in this spread. That's intense. So this is a guy who is in a yoga, purposefully put himself in a yoga position for learning and developing and evolving his soul, his way of being himself. So this, and again, kind of fits with the two of swords that we had gotten in the beginning, as well as the Five of Pentacles and even the Devil card and even the Queen of Cups. All of these cards are being a bit more withdrawn, a bit more looking within oneself, discovering what is within oneself. And this is what this card is saying. We will be gaining, as this month progresses, more of who we are as an individual, as we are humanity, as we are in the time matrix, as we are in the universe, all those different things. We will be really processing and really looking at and building on what that is. Okay, now we're in Cappy. Thank you, Lewis. All right, so Seven of Wands. This is a beautiful card. I think it would have been happier with this in Sagittarius because this is a Saggy card, so it's kind of interesting that it wasn't in the Saggy, but that's okay. And Cappies, it's kind of Cappies are like, I don't know about this, because this is someone who's very unique. They do things in a unique way. They defend their right to be. A little bit of a Robin Hood card as well. And they also tend to be exploring and looking at and being in new territories. So we will be, exploring more at a more grounded, stable, earthy way how to explore an expanded version of what we think our earthly experience is supposed to be. Could be another way. Yeah, I'm getting a yes on that, on how to look at this card in this placement of ourselves for the month of February. Okay, Aquarius. So, the King of Cups, boy. This is an interesting guy. Now, remember, Aquarius is social media, community, it's also technology, innovation, exploring into the future, possibilities, expansion. But this guy is really someone who, he's very emotionally intelligent. He's highly intuitive, but he's not really going to be sharing a lot with others. He's not really going to be expanding too much into the future per se, Although if he is going to do it, he's going to do it from a very balanced, emotionally intelligent perspective. So we are going to be a lot more careful with what social media platforms we are speaking on, being a little bit more careful as we are kind of nurturing our new evolving identities as they're coming online this month, as we're again leaving the old matrix of the old Fibonacci to Taurus death spiral and coming back online of the crystal, organic crystal life spiral. We're definitely going to be making new choices, and we're going to be very careful. And interestingly, with our Pisces of hidden forces and being a little bit more, Pisces also tend to be a little bit abstract, luciferic, woo-woo, up in the air thinking as well. They're not particularly grounded as a general rule because they are expanding out of this realm into new realms. The more they can stabilize in that, the better they are. We've got a card that says, yep, Pisces are going to be, the Pisces energy is going to be more stable, more careful, more sure-footed, more as we, again, expand out what it means to actually live in a 3D world. We're going to be able to see more of the hidden aspects of this beautiful physical world that we're creating with every breath we take in a much more stable, sure-footed way. And then as we go into the 13th pillar, the summation, the energy that kind of brings it all together before it flashed out to become the whole layout, is interestingly the Emperor. and again, another major arcana, another big intense card. So with Tarot by Janine, she tends to use them as the Alliance card, which I think is interesting. This is a card, someone who's into developing, well, it's masculine energy, for one thing. And it's also a card of organizational structure. So he's working to build like a company or an industry or a community, but he's building it, he's organizing it, he's structuring it, he's giving it a foundation and building it up. And that's really what all these cards have been doing, is giving us the more organizational, taking action, because male's energy is more taking action, organizationals, more, a little bit more structured. But also with it being masculine, right? Because when we get into the Manet era, it's the outpicturing. It's actually the structure of the light body expanded out of what was the Christos within the monad structure within of the Kristallo, the 13th pillar. We are at the expanding out, but giving it lots of structure and order. And we're learning, like I said, moving forward, we're going to be learning hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day, week by week, month by month, carefully and surely, like the Knights of Pentacles and the King of Cups, and even the Seven of Wands, and our Hanged Man, our King of Swords. All these are emotionally intelligent, capable, careful expressions that work together to build something into form. And that we are going to be doing that this coming month. That is like awesome. Hey. Okay. Let's see.
Katie?
Yes, sir.
With these cards being correlated to the different star signs, does that mean people could take 3 messages away from this for their sun sign, their moon, and their rising?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're looking at your personal horoscope, that's a whole different ball game. You're going to be looking at your chart and its alignments from your birth chart, and then how it expands out to the days and months. And you have your moon sign, your which is your karma, what you birthed into this lifetime with. Kind of a culmination of all your past lifetimes. The sun sign is kind of the environment upon which you're going to express yourself, how you express yourself. And then your rising/setting sign, but really kind of rising sign, is more what you are building up to. What are you focusing to evolve into?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. All right. It is. I just wanted to. I noted a little comment. Feel the same way. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And I just kind of want to wrap up because it's getting to the top of the hour. But again, if anybody has questions that they want to ask, by all means, we'll go over a little bit. But I want to make sure that, and I'd love to hear people's feedback too. So if you want to comment, that'd be great, and I could put those comments up. Would be awesome. But Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Private Sessions. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment utilizes Keylanta, and speaking on creating new life body structure, Keylanta and Tantriya Hura mechanics. Both sciences are the original organic first creation mechanics. The mechanics work with the organic light body and plasma spirit body structure to bring you back to your organic first creation mechanic of the eternal domains of the all that is. This technology realigns the artificial finite second creation Fibonacci 2 towards net Earth program with its natural perpetually renewing organic ascension new Earth expression. And then we also have HJR Gridkeepers community membership program. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment. HJR defines a Gridkeeper as one who mindfully develops a personal relationship with their clan spirit family, or multidimensionality of their self, which is their authentic expression. The Gridkeeper then consciously aligns their lone harmonic, authentic, eternal expression with the core of the earth plane for healing and mindful co-creating with all life everywhere as the eternal God Source First Eternal, Aya, Aye, embodying a new earth now. And I also have available Waking in Alania book series. While this story appears to be a typical science fiction tale, it is actually a piece of Earth's ancient hidden history. Much of the past I had remembered through my affiliation with the freedom teachings of Keylonic science. The rest was through the characters' lives in the story shared through me. Kara, Eshwa, Ganado, Prince Kaldor, Queen Asana, and even General Damien all have a place in my heart. I was glad I could get the story down on paper. These books were a long time in the making and still are. I'm still working on my third book. I hope this book gives one the heart and meaning of Keylonic science, which is how to live by the law of one, or the oneness that I refer to so intensely in this book. In fact, it's a prime example, and I feel, of how all species can live a whole and complete life. And, Lewis, did you want to add anything to any of the topics I just quickly ran through?
Definitely on the Awaken Alania if anybody is really kind of struggling with going through the Voyages material. The Awaken Alania book series is really just a good way to... It's definitely a book for you to go through first. It talks about a lot of the same topics that she talks about in Voyages. It's a really nice way just to integrate the material, and you can go back into the Voyages material. We've finished this book, and you'll find it a lot easier just to integrate. So it's definitely a book that I would recommend.
Thank you. Just want to quickly go over, and again, I'm looking for anything that people want to add to the discussion, because I went through a bunch of different things. I'd love to hear people's feedback on what they got from the spread and what I said. Okay, so Mastery of Keelantis show episode 4. So Tuesday, the 3rd, at basically moving forward, starting in February, the sessions will be on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. So Mastery of Keelantis will be on the 3rd. We will be looking at the Family Tree of Consciousness, pages 12 through 14 of the Postures of Love. And then Introduction to Keelantis show on the 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The World of the Council Domains, pages 76 through 81 of Elements of Discovery. And then our next HJR Tarot show will be the 24th at 8 p.m. And we will be looking at how we are aligning to the crystal spiral for March. And please like this video. Please share to anyone you think would be interested in this content. And whenever you get the future links for sessions, for shows, please send them to whoever you think would be interested to get the word out, so we get a good group of people eventually, so we can have good discussions. Please subscribe to get more of this content. Hitting the notification button is hugely important. And I am not monetized by YouTube, so donations are greatly appreciated. And all the links for everything is down in the description box below for private sessions, Gridkeepers, and for the Waking in Alania book series. Yeah, let's see if that's it. Okay. Did you want to add anything, Lewis, to the card layout? Anything that stood out to you?
For me, probably just for the Hangman. A big message that was really just coming through me was to really look for third place solutions. So if obviously, I don't know really what I was kind of saying. I was kind of saying you can either choose the left or the right. But obviously if you're going to be making any kind of decisions, just to look for third place solutions. That's really the only thing that really came through. Oh, Katie, we've got a question as well.
Say that again.
With the Hangman card.
Oh, the Hangman card. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The message that was really coming through me was really, if you're making a decision, not to really jump on the decision. Really just look for a third place solution. And that was the one word that was really emphasized, third place solution. You'll find it if you go within. So thank you. Oh, Katie, you've got a question as well.
Oh, awesome.
It's about your donation button.
Oh, okay. Oh, when this is over with, you should be able to go into the description, right? Which is usually when you go at the... Can you explain? Do you know how to explain it better than me, Lewis?
Yeah.
I know.
So if you just press into the description, which is at the bottom of the video, you can go straight down, and she'll have a load of different links. She'll have the PDF to the show, the HJR Private Sessions, Gridkeepers community, and if you have a look at the bottom, it will just say that we're not monetized, so donations are greatly appreciated, and it'll just give you a PayPal link if you'd like to.
Yeah.
It,
Like
oh,
right
so it's
now,
usually a bottom at the.
yeah, right now I clicked off the chat because I had the chat up.
Oh, okay.
And so it says HJR Insights Terror Show Episode 1 at Harmonizing Journey to watching more. You click on that more, and then you'll click more again.
You don't have a donation button,
And
do you?
then you can scroll
there we go.
down and
It's found it.
yes, where I say we're not monetized, so donations are greatly appreciated. And I'm thinking with PayPal, yeah, if I remember right, you can like donate. You can pay like with a credit card, or there's different forms more than just PayPal you can use to donate. Okay. Can I get the chat back up again? Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's just the chat. We'll just ask. It's just asking about the donation
Oh,
button and
he said he
things.
found it.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, I guess if that's it, we are done for the evening. And hope so. Again, to have a bit more of a routine now. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Pretty much, it'll be next month. The first 2 Tuesdays, take a break. That third Tuesday, and then the last Tuesday, we'll do this class again because we'll be prepping for March. And all right, love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.